So, hello, Aquarius, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racey, and I'm going to be giving the message for you today. It is a general message, so take it as it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. If it doesn't, there's plenty of other wonderful readers on YouTube who are doing 2020 predictions at this time that might resonate a little more with your vibe. For those of you not familiar with me or the channel, I do use profanity and talk about adult things. I don't filter my messages at all. So if that is not your thing, or you have kids around, or you just don't appreciate it, respectfully, I'm always giving you the opportunity to sign off now. Otherwise, Aqua, we're going to be getting into your reading for 2020. Now, the overall cards for the overall theme, we do have receiving, rest with Archangel Ramiel and Aragonite, and a personal issue reaches resolution with the full moon in Cancer, which is literally in the first month of the year. It's in January, right? It's in January. It's the huge eclipse that we're having with the Pluto-Saturn conjunction right after. So whatever issue you're having, we're resolving it right off the bat at the beginning of the year. And that's going to set the stage for the rest of the message. Receiving is all about enjoying the sweetness of life, and Archangel Ramiel is the archangel of both thunder and hope. And with that kind of a message coming in as the overall theme, this is truly a year for you to sit back and enjoy the loving energy from the universe, being able truly to receive and feel blessed, and not necessarily be proactive in doing. It's not a year for you to, I'm just getting like, it's not a year to bust your tail or work your ass off. Like, this is a year for you to truly enjoy life, honestly. So with that said, getting into the overall energies on the tops and bottoms of the deck. For the primary deck, we do have the 8 of Swords in the back face on the top of the deck, and the 2 of Swords in the back face on the bottom of the deck. Now, that equivalents to a 10 of Swords in the back face to me as a reader. And so looking at that, you are releasing mental prisons. You're choosing to look at the bright side from an illuminated consciousness. You're making choices that aren't based on fear state or feeling restricted, telling yourself it's impossible, everything is possible. Like, you're really going into the year and maintaining throughout the year a very open mind, making your highest good choices. With the clarifying deck, we had the World on the top with the Magician on the bottom. So clarifying that energy, you've come full cycle and are manifesting magical shit. Quite literally, with the end of self-sabotaging thought patterns, right? The 10 of Swords equivalent back face, you're letting that go. You're no longer in self-sabotaging patterns. You're very aware of what cycle has come to an end previously in your life, and you're very focused on what you're manifesting from your heart space, from a very honest place from within the self, which is great. I think as an overall theme, it doesn't really get much better than that. I think too, with Archangel Ramiel being the guide for the year, thunder and hope, just know you're probably going to step into your Aquarian shadow, especially with, the 2 of Swords being the underlying overall issue on the primary. And that's going to be healing for other people. I do not see you taking on the actual lessons. I'm seeing Aquarius more as the teacher in 2020. So yeah, be excited. Be excited for that, because I'm hearing like you're out of the crosshairs. You're just out of the crosshairs. So with that said, as your overall, we're going to get into the monthly breakdowns throughout the year. All right, here we go. January, we have the King of Swords, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Aqua, I think in January, you are absolutely facing life. You are facing the storms. You are facing the divine and standing really solid in it. You can see at the bottom of his feet, the sickle is actually behind him, and he stuck it in the ground. And so it's like taking those, it's almost, I just get like, anytime I see it, almost like a reaper energy, and you're putting it behind you. It's like everything that you've done to this point is completely building a brand new beginning. So if you have chosen to leave a certain life behind, a certain location behind, a certain job behind, certain family behind, certain friends behind, whatever it is that you're leaving behind, I think you're facing the divine head on, and it's a solid new beginning coming to the forefront. That the dragon is inside the staff on this Ace of Pentacles. It's almost like you've encapsulated your shadow aspects, or the power of your dark side, being able to stay detached, being able to give a higher perspective to people without feeling judged by them or whatever, and you've harnessed it. It's almost like you can use it at will, and you know when and why you're using it. It's not being triggered out of you anymore. It's something that you've gotten under control and mastered. So going into 2020 in January, I think you are building the foundation for your life, especially because, the full moon in Cancer, that was your personal issue, reaches resolution. I think whatever it is that you're having worries about, you don't need to worry about moving forward. I think it gets resolved. So if you're hoping something goes through, hoping something closes, hoping something sells, hoping something in a relationship works out, whatever it is, I think it's definitely working out. And I think it's working out because you have that kind of mastery within the self, knowing how to use your higher mind and portray that in such a way for people that it's actually healing for them. Okay. And it's building your new reality, a very stable new reality, because you've developed that union within the self, right? Between your light and dark attributes. You're coming into your own. Come February is led by the Empress card, and it's clarified by the Five of Coins. Now, the Five of Coins in traditional tarot is feeling abandoned, feeling alone. Okay, and the Empress energy is very fertile. She's very creative. You could be giving birth in February. You could be getting pregnant in February. But you could be creating a new job. You could be creating a new business. You could be creating something and birthing something into the reality that's not necessarily baby related. But either way, what you're creating, as beautiful as it is, soul wish as it is, you may be alone on this embarkment, right? Whatever you're embarking on, from the Ace of Pentacles moving forward, right, from January into February. I think that as much as you're doing what needs to be done and you're creating from your best version of self, there's this feeling of doing it alone. And it's almost like, I'm just getting this, like, because of the way the card, the Five of Coins, looks, it's almost like there's a part of your heart space that's deteriorating away a little bit, and you're coming into higher knowledge about things. Okay, you're coming into higher knowledge about things because we have the owl or the hawk coming in over her shoulder. And I think you're starting to see how you being in your divine energy, a balanced place within, is highlighting how other people are not in alignment with you, okay? How they're not in alignment with you, or how maybe they aren't matched to the dream that you want to create or that you are creating. Okay, so this is a little bit bittersweet. You're on the verge of creating your best life, and I think you're recognizing maybe others are not on board or not as balanced within as you are, and they're not fully healed yet in what they're creating. And you feel like you're doing a lot of things alone, that you're thinking a lot in higher perspective, and you're almost like having to explain things to other people, having to help them understand. And I think it's just very draining. I think that's just very draining, and you just wish they were more supportive or understanding or in tune with everything that you're in tune with, like from the gate. Like, I think you are creating so much and have so much going on, and your energy is so powerful that it's like you have to come down a notch and teach somebody else who should be on your level, like basic shit. It's like, do I have to get out my crayons and explain things to you, kind of thing? Like, come on now. This is like common sense, or it should be natural. It should be natural to you, or you've done this before. Like, what do you mean you don't know? You know what I mean? So I feel like you are ahead of other people that you're dealing with. Okay. Moving into March, we have the Knight of Coin in the reverse with the King of Wands. So you could be dealing with a cusper, like a fire earth sign cusper, like Aries, Taurus, or Leo, Virgo, or Sagittarius, Capricorn. Masculine energy, right? Because we have two masculines on the card. The Knight of Coin in the reverse is someone who is careless or reckless and isn't taking proper caution, right? Is not taking proper caution around money. Maybe they can't commit themselves to something. I'm getting this feeling of erratic patterns. I think what you're seeing, it's almost like a destabilizing energy, to be completely fair. It's destabilizing, and I think it's unnerving for you to realize just how offset this energy is in your life. If you're coming in as like that King of Swords and the Empress energy, because King of Swords is Aquarian energy, and the Empress, you're dealing with a knight and a king that is known for being non-committal or erratic, or it's almost like they never really grow up. Okay, it's almost like they never really grow up. They're not speaking their truth about the things. They might be terrified or afraid. They might have security issues. They might not believe in themselves when it comes to money. Knight of Coin in reverse, this is someone who's extremely immature when it comes to money or earning capabilities. They don't know how to push themselves for more. I think you might be dealing with that. For those of you not dealing with relationships, and this is definitely you, I feel like this is you realizing that maybe you have overspent or did not realize the cost of something when you were creating it. All right. Whatever it was that you were birthing into the reality, I think it's more financially taxing or more expensive to maintain than you originally thought, and you have to get your soul fire on. You have to take risks, calculated risks, moving forward in this King of Wands energy that is very soul spark passionate. It's about aiming for the big picture, aiming for the long game, knowing that you have to do certain things to get there. All right, knowing that certain things have to be done, certain things have to be chopped, certain things have to be pulled in, like certain things have to be done, and it's focus, 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 and you don't necessarily have time for anything else. You're focusing on your money, you're focusing on yourself, you're focusing on your needs, and I'm just being guided to warn you about overspending. Okay, frivolous spending or reckless spending. Don't go overboard. If you are creating something and money is potentially an issue, come March, do not expend on luxury things to show off. Okay, you don't need luxury items. You don't need top of the line, whatever it is. You need what is most effective and efficient. All right, so keep that in mind. Moving into April, we do have the World card in the back face clarified by the High Priestess. Now, this energy is major. Okay, major. And when a cycle is coming to a close with the world, right? A cycle is coming to a close. It's coming to a close with a sting in this face, in the back face. You can see the snake around the wreath that she's surrounded by. It's healing energy. It's very healing, but it stings. The reality of the lesson itself stings. And you already kind of knew or sensed that something was off. Okay, that something was off. And so now you're facing it. You're facing it head on. And to be completely fair, Aqua, I think you're having a little bit of a freak out moment. I think you're having a little bit of a freak out moment because I think what you intuitively knew or sensed, I think you might have been denying it to yourself just a little bit, which is why it stings. I feel like maybe, someone else or others were supposed to step up more, and they're just not able to, or it's not enough, right? It's not enough. Or you're closing out a cycle with issues around transparency, because the High Priestess has a lot to do with secrets. And I think you have to be more transparent. I think if you intuitively felt something was off and you didn't pay attention to it, or you negated it prior because you were just like, oh no, it'll be fine, we'll be great, this person's great, or this situation's great, or whatever, I think you're realizing now how you probably should have addressed it back then. You should have addressed it prior and brought it to whoever's attention prior, because you did see the bigger picture from a different point of view. You did have some kind of intuitive knowing, and it was ignored, negated, or or forgotten about. It was put aside, like, no, it's fine, and it was completely forgotten about. And now I think you're realizing that it's probably a much bigger issue than you originally thought. It's a much bigger stress than you originally thought. And I think something needs to be let go of, that it's not welcomed having to let go of whatever it is. But I think it's got to go, or it's going to give, right? Because something's got to give. And I think you intuitively know that in April. All right, you already know it in April. So as the rest of the year transpires, if you're not giving up something or having to let go of something that was already previously established, you already know and sense moving forward something's not going to work out, and you know it, you feel it, you sense it, but you might not actually be talking about it. Okay, you might not actually be talking about it. Because as we get into May, we do have the Chariot clarified by the Six of Cups. And this energy here, the Six of Cups, she's actually holding an hourglass. And it's a soulmate card. Okay. And you have your dragon energy there, right, that you were harnessing in January. And I think you're kind of tapping into that, like it's only a matter of time before you have to move forward. Only a matter of time before you have to make a call with the Chariot to move forward, to break the chains that are restricting you, to take your cup of love and your healed self, your divine union within, right? Your trust in self, and moving forward. And it's a part of your healing. It's a part of whoever is connected to you's healing. I think it's only a matter of time before you need to move on to something more stable, because you can't stay where you are. You might be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost a little disappointed. I think it's almost a little disappointed. I think, Aqua, that you might have put yourself in line with something that you just weren't ready to take on. You were just not prepared. Okay, you were just not prepared. And it's only a matter of time before shit has to move or hits the fan, however you want to look at it. Hopefully it's just movement forward and it's just a matter of time. Come June, you do get the new beginning with the Ace of Wands, brand new start. And it comes out with the Two of Coin and the Ten of Coin, which means this is a golden opportunity. You know, she's standing in front of the golden gates with her truth, and the Ten of Coins is all about a home environment. Two of Coins is about juggling. So you might have been juggling home environments. You might have been juggling between two different homes, whether it's, you know, yours and family or friends or whatever, two different environments, like a home away from home, like a workplace. I think you maybe finally get to choose whether or not you want to continue creating what you were creating back in February, or if you want to go back to ways you used to be prior. You know, if you were creating an at-home business, maybe now you're thinking about, well, maybe I have to go back into like the workforce, you know what I mean? Like, and go back out there and work for somebody else, and you're kind of juggling that idea. You might be moving homes. But this is a golden opportunity to move forward and leave behind something that's old and not working. It's not working. It's not benefiting you anymore to be there. And so I think you're moving forward into this new light of things. And I think Spirit is kind of talking to you and communicating with you what needs to be done as far as what steps need to be taken to create a more balanced home environment, or a more stable dream, right, that you're living in manifest, as opposed to, you know, wishing it was better or wishing there was more or feeling like something's incomplete. Like the universe is guiding you on how to get through that golden gate opportunity in order to reach your stability, right, the stable home. In July, we have the Temperance that came out front face but in reverse. And it's clarified with the Strength card. This is, I mean, there are two major arcana, okay? Something's out of balance, or at least it seems that way. It might not actually be out of balance. It might just seem that way. Something isn't going according to plan, and I think it's because there's this, you know, temperance alchemizing energy that is being neglected or it's not being looked at. And I feel like it's with other people in your environment. Okay, something is going on that's trying to throw you off balance because it itself seems off balance. I think the divine is testing your strength, okay, with the Strength card. I think this is the moment where, you know, you can give in and go back on your dreams, or go back on your promises, or, you know, promises to self, or you can stand in your truth and cut that shit down real quick. Like, absolutely fucking not. Like, this is my dream. You know, this is what I wanted. This is my life. This is what I'm creating. And you're not going to throw me off balance. You are not going to ruin this, right? You are not going to ruin whatever this is and throw me off. And it's being strong. It's being really strong. You know, it's not like you're coming from a malicious place, because the Strength card is not malicious. It's just almost brutal honesty with yourself and others, so that everybody's ego is kind of in check or put in place. Okay. And I think that's what you're dealing with in July. I'm almost getting this energy of, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how to do it. Like, you already know, Aqua, because you came into this year solid. You came into this year solid. Your energy, your headspace, your heart space came in solid. And the divine's overall message was to receive, right, the loving blessings from the universe and to rest. So if you're in a position where you can't rest and enjoy your life and relax and just be, it's like you're telling everybody to fuck off. fuck off. Like if you're not adding to my joy and making my life simple, you need to stay the fuck away from me. Like, stay the fuck away. Leave me alone. And I think it's that kind of energy where you're just being really strong from your own inner heart space and just being real with people. Okay. Moving into August, we have the 6 of Coins, clarified by the 5 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. And so that energy from July absolutely continues. The 6 of Coins is about receiving. And with the 5 of Swords, it's confrontation, it's arguments. The Knight of Swords is quick, clear cut communication. I think you are showing no fucking mercy with people. I think you are in complete aqua energy, completely detached, completely on fire. Don't care if you burn anybody else's ego to the ground. It's like, leave me alone. I'm receiving my bliss. I am taking in my life. I'm enjoying what I'm creating, right? There's this dawn coming up over the wall in the distance in the 6 of Coins. And we have all of these planetary signs, on the back of his cape. And I think the way you're looking at it is like, I am ready to enjoy the beauty of experience with whatever it is that I'm creating or have created. And nothing is going to stop that. If you don't want to work and you want to be at home with your kids kind of thing, and that's the beautiful life experience that you want, you're not allowing others to tell you you have to do this or you have to do that. You're looking at them like, no, maybe you have to. No, maybe you have to do this or do that because I'm enjoying what I've birthed into reality, whether it's an actual child or, a future. But I think you're looking at people like, go ahead and fucking dare me. Like, test me, push me, see what happens when you tell me to do things that I don't want to do. I think people are seeing a whole different side of you. I think it's almost vicious, Aqua, to be completely fair. It's almost vicious. You're like, go ahead, bring the storm my way. I will eat that fucking storm. Matter of fact, I will bring another storm on top of your storm and make your storm look like child's play. Like, don't play with me. I just feel like Aqua has that energy. Aqua has that energy. Moving into September, you are making choices from a unified place within the self. You have not lost that, Aqua, throughout the entire year. You are in a divinely balanced place throughout. Okay, because with the Lover's card in the back face, with the 6-pointed star and the symbol of Mercury, you are speaking and communicating from an integral place that is balanced. And if that means you're calling shots, taking risks, with this Knight of Coin in the reverse again, right? Because we had that in March. We have another Knight of Coin that came up in reverse, clarifying it. You're moving forward. You're being completely transparent. It's like no risk, no reward, and you're choosing your destiny from a balanced place. And that's a big deal because most people don't. This means you're not willing to sacrifice your happiness. You're not willing to sacrifice your peace. You're not willing to sacrifice your life. You're not willing to sacrifice your integrity. You're not willing to sacrifice. You're not settling. And so you are taking off the mask. It's like taking off the mask. It's saying, listen, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. And if you don't like it, oh well. You're either going to shift and start to resonate with my vibe, or you can shift out of my experience. Like, it's up to you. Like, I am who I am. And if you want in, fine. And if you don't, you don't. I don't care. It's just this energy, Aqua. Because you just want to receive. You are not accepting less than the best life has to offer. The best experience. You're not going to give up any experience that you want to have. Because as far as you're concerned, you're not going to get that experience again. You're only getting older. Things are only getting less possible. You have the means now. You're doing what you're doing now. And everybody else is either in alignment with you or they're being triggered as fuck by you. Okay. Moving into October, we get the Hanged Man energy in the back face with the Judgment card. Just when you think you're in your highest power, okay, I think this is really unbeknownst to you. Okay, I think this is unbeknownst to you. I don't actually think you know what is going on in the background in October, because I do very much think it's behind your back. I think people are gossiping. I think people are talking about how you've got yourself tied in a situation, how you're this, how you're that, blah, blah, blah. I think they're very judgy. I think they're very judgy and critical of you because they don't like how you've been coming off all year. And I think they're talking shit. And if and when you need help, they're not going to be there. Like, nope, you put yourself in this situation. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing. And it's almost like, see, I knew they were going to this. I knew they were going to that. And then your inner demons start to surface. Your inner demons start to pop up. They start to resurrect themselves. And you're confronted with this idea that maybe you were too hard on others. Maybe you did hang yourself upside down. Maybe you did, tie your hands behind your back. And maybe, just maybe, you were too hard on others, because this is the snake whispering in your ear. As you're looking at things from a different perspective, hanging upside down, the snake is whispering in your ear, like, look at those people, like, they don't care about you. They're not helping you. They don't care that you need help, or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you've taken off the mask, you've broken the mask, you've laid your ego to rest, you're just yourself, and nobody's there. And I think it starts to kind of play on your mind a little bit. Did I make the right choices? Did I choose the right words? Did I take the right actions? Should I have said this to that person? Or, could I have said it better? And I think come November, you apologize, because we get the Knight of Cups, and then we get the Tower card clarifying it. I think you apologize. No sooner than you apologize. Aqua, this is the feeling that I'm getting. I think no sooner than you apologize, the way people react to you, you're realizing you weren't wrong and no apology was owed. As a matter of fact, they owe you one. I think come November, with this Tower moment, I think you might get help from a place that you were not anticipating. I think that someone is offering you an opportunity from a very compassionate, empathetic, loving place to help you. I think you might have gone through so much traumatic shit with other people throughout the year that you might not trust the offer, because they might only fuck you over like everybody else did. They might only pull the rug out from under you like other people did. They might not understand you like everybody else did in this year. And I think that you're going to be challenged with accepting a miracle. Accepting a miracle. I'm getting from friends like Soul Tribe. Like Soul Tribe. I think they know you're knee deep in your emotions. I think they know that how you think or how you have expressed yourself is not out of line. Whether this is, blood family or soul family, I do feel like someone's coming in with almost like, for some of you, it's definitely going to be an olive branch. An offer to make peace. And for others of you, it's definitely going to be an offer of compassion. An offer based in compassion. Okay, and for that reason alone. And I think it's going to take you by surprise. You might even have someone stand up for you. Like if you've been dealing with a bunch of, let's just say you've been dealing with a bunch of family or a bunch of coworkers at a job that have just been giving you shit and you're like, fuck all of you, like da 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 da. Come November, I think you're very surprised by someone standing up for you, by someone supporting you, by someone bringing the tower down and fighting the fight with you by your side, as opposed to almost not speaking up for you and you're dealing with it by yourself. You know what I mean? I think you're coming to the realization that you're not fighting all these battles alone, and that you actually have real solid emotional support. Okay, that's just kind of what I'm feeling. I think you're getting really solid emotional support, and anything that comes down, and it's going to be a blessing in disguise. It's a miracle. You know what I mean? It really is. It might not seem that way leading up to it or in the midst of it or whatever. But I feel like someone is definitely showcasing that they have your back no matter what. Like, no matter what. They said, if you want to create this castle and you want to be in this tower and there's storms all over the fucking place, I'm going to bring the light of day. You're not in this storm alone. You're not in this huge cold castle of reality by yourself. And I think they're lighting it up for you. I think they're lighting it up for you and bringing in that blessing from the shadow that you were dealing with from October. Because October, I'm not going to lie, October was rough. So November, relief comes in. With that said, come December, we do have the Page of Wands in the back face, which is complete Phoenix rising energy, a complete reinvention of the self from a soul spark kind of a place. And it's clarified with the Sun in the reverse. The Sun in the reverse, to me, when it comes to this, especially with the Phoenix energy, with the Page of Wands, if you have to move into the realm of unknown and you have to remove certain blocks to your authenticity, I think that's exactly what you're doing. Because the Sun, even in the reverse, is a very, very, very positive card. It's just delayed and it's regrowth. I think this Page of Wands, whoever came to your defense, I think you're starting to redefine who you consider or what you consider as important or valuable in your life. I think with all of the drama that you went throughout the year, standing in your power, making it crystal clear for people, like, listen, you don't have to read between the lines. I'm telling you very clearly. I think you're realizing that it's okay to be yourself and it is okay to trust, and you're not necessarily alone. And now you're just removing any little blocks or nuances to your authentic path. Truly and wholly and fully your authentic path, whatever it was that you're creating. Moving into 2021 with that energy, I think you're going to have a beautiful 2021. That's a hell of a way to open up the year, knowing that Sun energy is coming in, because you've been through a lot, Aqua. As we look at the totality of these cards, we have lightning in January. We have storms present in March. We have cloudy skies in a lot of the pictures. We have lightning in August. We have, the demons coming out of their depths in October. We have more lightning in November, and then we have this beautiful Phoenix energy and this sunshine coming. And you can see it kind of almost looks like an eclipse. Right? On the Sun card, it looks like the Ring of Fire eclipse energy. So just be really aware that whatever that energy is, I just feel like it's a protective, spiritual ring of fire. Like nothing can cross what you've created to protect your best version of yourself and your life. The best version of yourself and your life. Aqua, you're taking no prisoners this year. And you're not second guessing yourself. I think the one time you second guess yourself in October is when you realize you should have never fucking second guessed yourself. That you were right from the beginning. And I think you know it. And if you don't, you're definitely going to know by November. Yeah, moving into December, I feel you're ready, Aqua. I think you're ready to rest and receive. I think you're ready to bring the thunder, right? Because Remiel, we were talking about the archangel of thunder and hope. This is a year where the storms are raging and you're not afraid of them. You're not afraid of them. Let everybody else be afraid. Let everybody else deal with the tumultuous storm in their own mind, but you're clear. You've got to stay clear and be clear. And I think you're coming into a whole new Aquarius, like 2.0, come the end of the year. If you started off as Aquarius 1.0, whole within the self, one within the self, I think you're upgrading that version to 2.0 come the end of the year. This is a whole nother elevated version of oneness, right? This is an appreciation of oneness. This is a belief in oneness. This is a trusting of the self. This is a complete self-love and self-respect that I think you're moving into. So congrats, Aqua. Congrats, because, for as crazy as this year might be, I think you're a shining star in it. Just know too, just because of the number synchronicities, you might be seeing 272 or 212, or multiples like 121, things like that, just because of the different things I'm syncing on the cards. Okay, definitely 212 for sure, and 121. All right, be mindful of that. All right. For those of you who want more from me, all of my information is in the description below. You can catch me on the Ascension team and the Greater Holistic Community group. Definitely like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so that you can get, the updates on the monthly breakdowns as I read for your sign all year. I'm definitely looking forward to it, to reading for you this year. Until next time, guys, Divine Rebel Racey signing off. Love each other, and most importantly, always remember to love yourselves. Take care.